Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got the S8 with me again. What we're going to be doing over the course of the next few vids is we're going to be doing like a series in terms of the S8. So we're going to be covering things like, in this particular vid, we're going to be covering things like the spec on this car. Then there'll be a vid about the running costs on this car. Then there'll be a vid about like the drive of this car and the mods and the rest of it. So we're going to try and do like a series. It's a highly spec car. I have done like a vlog type of it on this car like previously, so I might link that in somewhere in this vid. But yeah, we're going to be doing like a series on this S8 over the next couple of weeks maybe, so definitely stay tuned for all of those. But yeah, let's go and have a look at this highly spec'd S8. So this is the Audi S8 D4 model. This one is finished off in the Audi exclusive paint, which is called the Cherry Black. It has like a real nice kind of a fleck when the sun is really shining off on it. From the front end we can see that it's got a Maxton splitter. I really love the way the car is just set off. It looks so aggressive from the front end. You got the LED headlights. These are the matrix headlights, which absolutely looks stunning on this car as well. It's a standard feature. Moving around the side, the owner of this car, he's put on the 21-inch S8 Plus alloy wheels. He actually used to have an S8 Plus a couple of cars before this, which wasn't as highly spec'd as this particular car, and I'll talk you through some of the additional things that this car has got over and above the S8 Plus that he had. So moving around the rear end of the car, yes, it doesn't look standard. It's got a diffuser which is made by Maxton Designs, and then it's flanked off by the quad tailpipes, which is a non-resonated straight pipe Miltech exhaust system, which sounds absolutely brutal. So now that we've spoken about the exterior of the car, the cherry black pleasant paintwork, the interior really complements the exterior. It's finished off in this kind of an oyster grey leather, and it's got a lot of carbon, as you can see, and it's got some Alcantara on the door cards as well. So the seats are really supportive. They're not only 22-24 way adjustable, they're also cooling and heated, as well as massaging as well. So they've got like about 5 different programs for massaging, and trust me, it's really nice to have those massaging seats when you are just driving and, you know, coming back from a stressful meeting or whatever it might be, or you've had like a real hard day and you're on the motorway or the autobahn. Real nice function to have. The car also features a rear view camera. It's also a 360 view camera, because you've got the top view of the car over here. That's your rear view camera bit. I keep thinking it's a touchscreen. And you got forward view, and you got cameras on the front bumper as well, which show you like the sort of front cornering view, I suppose it is. So there's quite a few functions there that, you know, you can see all around this car. It's quite a good function to actually have, or a feature, because obviously the size of this car is quite huge. So yeah, it's quite nice to see that, you know, Audi have thought about all of these. I'm not sure whether this is an option or whether this is a standard feature, but there we are. So as you can see, there's loads of carbon within the car, right from the door cards all the way across the main dash and then the center console. In my personal opinion, being the S8, the carbon really sets it off, complements the leather interior quite nicely. It breaks up the grey really well. The car also features a solar panel sunroof. The sunroof glass itself has got some solar panels within it. That's quite a feature that you probably don't see in many S8s, let alone in any S8 Pluses within the UK anyway. What I really like about this S8 is the fact that it's got the analog dials. On the more recent 2020-2021 S8s, they've got the virtual cockpit. This has still got an LCD display between the rev counter and the speedo, but I'm a huge fan of analog dials. I think they just look really classy, especially in a car like this. So this car also features a head-up display. It's an optional extra. It doesn't come standard on any S8s, let alone even on the S8 Plus that he had previously didn't have it. So it's a great option to have on this car, which I think really just sets the car off. Other driving aids that this car features are the lane departure warning, and it's also got the adaptive cruise control. Another feature that I've just discovered is that it's got a Audi mobile phone. For whatever reason, I'm not sure why you would use that, but it's there anyway. I'm not sure if that's an optional extra or whether that's part of the car. So this S8 features the air suspension, which you can raise and lower the car. So we've got the raise function right there. So right now we are raising the car, and what I'm feeling right now is that the car is raising itself from the front and then from the rear. You can actually feel that while sitting in the car. Right now it kind of feels like I'm actually sitting quite jacked up as the car is just raising itself. Once the car has finished raising itself, it will, well, right now it's just done that, so now it's allowing us to lower the car. So if we go back and we lower the car back to how it is, in fact before we do that, let's just have a quick look at how the car looks from outside. Car just bleeping right at me. So I've just come out of the car, and as you can see, that's the right height right now, the car raised. So what we're going to do now is go back and lower the car. It's an annoying sound. Right, so now we're going to just go and lower the car. So as the car is now just lowering itself, you can just feel it kind of pushing itself down from the front and then from the back. It's like doing something like that. But there we are. It's now done it. So now if you go back out, car's bleeping again. And you can see how much lower the car now rides with it in the lowest setting. Another feature that I really like about this car is that when you switch the car off, the steering wheel lifts itself, the seat just opens up like its bolsters, so it's easier to sort of jump out the car when you open the door. And then when you come back in the car and you hit the start button or put the ignition on, the steering goes back to your desired position and the bolsters come back in. That's a real nice luxury feature to have on this S8. Another feature that I like is the steering wheel. It's not overly large in terms of its size and diameter, and on a cold December day like today, it's heated as well, so it's really nice to hold a heated steering wheel while driving. I really like how this center console has got a physical button for pretty much everything. The MMI controller that controls the screen up there. You've got the heater controls, the radio buttons and everything. On more recent Audis like the the new A6, the A7, probably even like the smaller cars like the A3 now, all this is like a touch screen. The RSQ8 that I was out in not long ago had like a touch screen down here as well, and it looks really nice, but you get finger marks all over it when obviously it's all switched off, and also when you're driving it's not easy to know exactly what you're doing, whereas like this, you've got a physical button for the air conditioning, the heated seats and whatnot, so you know exactly where the buttons are, and it's so much easier to control when you're on the fly. The car also features a Bose sound system. I'm not sure whether that's an optional extra or whether that's the standard speaker system in this car. I would imagine that it's a standard feature because you probably have the Bang & Olufsen system if it's like the optional extra. But on the drive down here with the radio playing, for me it was just adequate, so it's fine. It's absolutely fine to have the Bose system in this car. So being a limo, I just thought I'll just jump in the back. It's actually quite nice. You have got the electric blinds here, so you can just open them up to get a bit more light. The windows are tinted as well, so it's quite nice having that. You've got some kind of ashtrays and whatnot going on in the back as well here, and you've also got a electric operated blind in the rear as well. You got nice carbon inlays on the door cards, on the front seats, and you've got this big center armrest as well, which you've got your own kind of heated controls for the seats. They're heated, they're cooling, they're massaging, they're reclining. It's pretty much fully loaded, this car is in the rear here. I'm really impressed. Even in the rear armrest there is yet another Audi mobile phone. I really do like the way this car has been spec'd out. Even in the rear where you've got like these rear seats, they're massaging, cooling, heated, electrically reclining and all of that good stuff. It really gives you like a real sense of luxury. This isn't even like the long wheelbase, so maybe in the long wheelbase all this stuff comes as standard, but in this is all like an optional tick box. And I do really like the electrically operated rear sunshade. It gives you that extra level of like say privacy. The rear is like tinted as well. With these electrically operated blinds, you know, it just gives you that extra level of privacy. Let me know what you think of the spec of this car compared to your S8s out there, or your BMW 7 Series and your Mercedes S-Classes. You know, it'll be quite nice to see and hear how this is spec'd up compared to yours. So So guys, there you go. I hope you have found this video useful and informative. I personally do think that this S8 is quite a highly spec'd S8. I would like to hear your thoughts on this, because you know, you guys might have options that are not fitted to this car and vice versa. So let me know in the comments below what you think of this particular S8. I will give you a sound check before I go, and definitely guys, stay tuned, because on the next vid I'll be talking about the running costs of this S8, and we'll be doing some more drives on this car as well. So definitely stay tuned for that. I'm gonna end the vid here, but before I go, here's some sound check.